You guys been on the road since the 80s. How can you stand each other? What's the secret?
We can't stand each other. We're probably fortunate in that. There's no secret. You just have to stay focused and realize that, at some point, you're never going to see these people again. So you just make the best of it.
Yeah. True. Yeah. So you've mentioned about making records. Never imagined making records in the past when you started playing. What do you like about making records today after all the changes? And do you prefer making records or touring?
I like both. I perceive them both completely different. Totally different. Go on in.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Thanira.
I approach them completely different too. Touring and making records.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm of the belief that people that go to a live show don't think that they're listening to a CD. So I try to make them a completely different kind of experience. Mm-hmm. Because I don't feel like when I'm listening to Dark Side of the Moon that Pink Floyd is actually there playing it. I never think of that.
Okay, what about you, Dale? Do you, from the past, the way bands used to record with internet and you can make a studio at home, I know you guys prefer, you work with the same engineer for ages. What do you like about recording today? Do you like most, or from
it's easier?
It's easier, right?
You don't have to think about limitations. Some people like that, but I don't have to worry about that at all. Not being on the clock is something that takes a lot of pressure off too. Our first records that we made, we had a small budget and just a couple days in the studio to get it all done. So there's a lot more pressure to do that. But now coming from that world and the way that we work now, we work really quickly. We don't decide. Well, now we can take months and months to do a record and
no, we still don't do that.
Beat a song to death in the studio. We're really because we started that way. We're quick.
Good. So you've been to Brazil a few years back. Do you have any cool story, or what were your impressions of Brazil?
We went to a restaurant.
Yeah, that was great.
Brazilian meat restaurant.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Yeah,
and we were with a guy who'd been a vegetarian for 10 years.
That's right.
That ate meat that night because he couldn't resist.
He's like, if I'm going to go off the wagon, this is the place to do it.
I'm going to do it.
Ate meat where they walk around with
10 years.
Big swords with meat on it, and just you flip a flag up. Green flag means bring it on.
Bring it on.
You just bring tons of stuff.
He ate everything.
So that was great. Yeah, that was
good.
One of my favorite things.
The water was really nice to us there.
Yeah, we drove a lot from place to place, and it seemed like it took even longer than to get to places than it does to drive around LA.
Oh, really?
Like, we'll be there soon. How long? About a half hour. I thought it was just across town. Oh yeah, it is.
Partway across town.
Partway across town.
Okay, so bands like Nirvana too already cited you guys as a major influence. We all know that. But there's a new generation of bands. There's a band called Mets. I don't know if you've ever heard about, from Toronto.
Mets, yeah.
Presented by Sub Pop. They are clearly being influenced by you guys.
Really?
And yeah.
That's cool.
And there's a lot of new bands also. Say Melvins, we very much influenced by it. And how do you respond to the shout-outs of the reference from the new generation of bands? And are you listening to any new bands at the moment?
Yeah, sure. There's a few new bands for sure. Les Butcherettes is one that we just toured with that we really like a lot, and They're great. They're really great. Yeah, I think it's great that the young kids don't consider some old farts trying to slog out some boring old fart music.
They might think that, but at least they're influenced by a bunch of old farts.
Yeah.
And
If they're lucky, they'll be old too. Some of them won't make it.
That's true.
Yep. Enjoy it. What will they say? Enjoy every sandwich.
Yeah. Enjoy every sandwich.
On the Backstage, the documentary by my friend Mahi. I don't know if you know. Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. So you've mentioned you should not stay focused on the past, but work hard to make it real. To make real new stuff. With internet technology today, more bands have the opportunity to make music and advertise the music. So in the past, we used to do the zines and flyers to spread the word. So it was a different way of making music and playing. What do you expect from music and the music industry today?
I expect very little from them, but I expected very little from them before. You know? There's a few things I like that creep through, but
Such as?
I mean, there's always been a few bands that I like. Just because 20 years ago or whatever it was different, didn't mean that there was more music that I liked.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's changed. My attitude about that hasn't changed, just because the exchange of information is easier now. I think.
Yeah, I mean, good bands are still few and far between. I think.
Yeah.
We're a really good one,
But I don't pine for the old days, like I said.
Yeah.
Not at all. I wouldn't change anything. It's fine.
And as far as the labels go, I mean,
They come and go.
they come and go.
They always did.
We'll have to think of new ways to market bands, I guess. I'm sure they will. There'll be some interest in there someplace. Somebody will figure something out.
Okay, finally, also in the Backstage documentary, you said you're not an oldies band and you're not an old band and you know what's going on in the music today.
Oh yeah.
And trying to change your music, you get also inspired by it. So what can we expect from Melvins in the near future? Any plans? Any projects?
New albums coming out. New tours. More of that kind of attitude.
Yeah. There's lots of things we're working on.
Brilliant. You can't talk anything about it?
We have an album coming out with this guy named Mike Conca that's going to come out April 1st called Mike and the Melvins that we started working on 16 years ago. We have an album that we did a bunch of collaboration with a bunch of different bass players. It's coming out. That's finished. We have an EP that just came out. We have a tour movie, 51 dates in 51 days. It's coming out in November. That's quite a bit.
Stuff we can't think of right now.
That's a lot.
Okay.
And plenty of stuff in the works, like I said.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.